Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to another episode of the Right to Adversity podcast with your favorite host, Kuku JMP. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your people. When I ask people what are their hobbies, they often say, "Oh, I like reading." Then I ask them, "What was the last book you read?" And they don't remember. How can you love reading and not remember your last book? To be honest, there are more stimulating options. A platform like TikTok is super stimulating, but I want to make reading great again. So that will be MRGA, Mr. Gun. So today, I'm providing you with 8 reasons why you should read books. That's why I have all these books here. I hope I convince you to pick up a book rather than scrolling endlessly through your timeline on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, where you don't feel fulfilled. So read books. I'll be honest with you, I haven't bought a physical book in a long time. For about 7 years, I download my books. Some people don't like digital books. Me, I don't mind. It doesn't make any difference to me. I can get my books digitally for free, and I prefer that. There's a site called Ocean of PDF, where almost any book you want you can find. If you want old books, you can try Internet Archive. There's also PDF Drive, but I'm not sure if that website is still working. I haven't used it in a while. You can download the books in PDF format. Right now, I'm reading 4 books concurrently. One is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, which is a book on sales. The second book I'm reading is Industrial Secrets, The Working Life of Charles Michael Schwab by Kenneth Warren. The third is Dressing the Man by Alan Flasser. The fourth is the Book of Mormon. I like to read multiple books so that if one book gets boring, I can switch to the other. Let me show you another trick. You can play books. What do I mean? You can listen to books. I like to do that with Adobe Reader. This feature is free. The voice sounds human. This works best with narratives like biographies, autobiographies, and histories. If the book has arguments, I can't just listen. Then I would have to read because I have to follow the writer's logic. The downside to listening to books is that you won't be able to take notes as much. It is cumbersome to pause and highlight. Listening can make you go through books a lot faster though. You'll be surprised by the number of books you can read in a week. Listening is also ideal when you are doing an activity that is monotonous and doesn't require your full attention. For me, I can listen to books when I'm at the gym, on a run, doing a chore, sitting in a bus, walking the streets, that kind of thing. You might see me in town smiling and ask, "Oh, why is this guy smiling?" Just maybe I'm reading a book or I'm listening to a book and I've arrived at an interesting section. Now is the time to take you through the 8 reasons proper why I believe you should read books. 1, you live more lives. Let me explain. If you read a great book, you're able to submerge yourself into someone else's life. You read a story about, say, young Winston Churchill and how he participated in the Boer War. The fact that he was arrested, he ran away from the prison camp, he sent an insulting letter to the person in charge of the prison, and now the enemy soldiers were on a manhunt for him. And that the person whose door he knocked for a place to hide was a respected Englishman and the only Englishman in the vicinity. And the South Africans, the Afrikaners, the enemy soldiers trusted him, so they didn't do thorough research. You read about someone like John D. Rockefeller, how he started his business from ground up. You read about T. Lawrence, who is my favorite hero or historical figure, and how he helped the Arabs in their revolts during World War I to free themselves from the Ottoman Empire. That's T. Lawrence, how he wouldn't take award for bravery from the king because he wanted the Arabs to be given land promised them after the war. You learn about Ernest Shackleton and how he guided his team. Their goal was to reach the South Pole. He went on an expedition with a group of men with the goal of being the first people to reach South Pole and Antarctica. The troubles they went through, how he was able to manage the men side, that he was able to protect them and brought them all safely back to England, even as their boat got destroyed by the elements. It's a great story. You learn about the story of the Wright brothers, Wilbur and Orville Wright, how they challenged the orthodoxy at the time, how they were able to create the airplane, even though they didn't have the needed resources. You read about the life of Nelson Mandela, the experiences he went through, what led him to prison, what he was doing when he was in jail, his mindset in jail. You read about Lee Kuan Yew and how he was able to transform Singapore from a third world country to a first world country in a single generation. You read about Chang Yu-yang, I don't know if I'm mentioning the name right, the founder of Hyundai, how he was able to create a conglomerate from a country that was a backwater. How he started life delivering rice. You read about Michael Jordan, you read about Kobe Bryant, and there are so many examples. You read about Jesus Christ, perhaps the greatest of them all. When was the last time you read the Bible? A lot of people haven't even read the Bible. They've been Christians all their lives, but they have never read the Bible from cover to cover. It's a tragedy if you haven't read the Bible, especially if you're a Christian. There are so many beautiful stories in the Bible. Not too long ago, someone was sharing the story of Jephthah, and I had read it a while back. I remember the fact that Jephthah was an illegitimate son. He was chased away from his father's home. Later, when the Israelites needed someone to lead them in battle, who did they call on? They called on Jephthah. It sounds similar to the story of Cincinnatus, who the Romans also went to plead with to lead them in battle. And Cincinnatus did something unusual. Although he was appointed dictator, that means he was given all power. When he was done prosecuting the war, he left the position of dictatorship and went back to what he was doing before, which was farming. He had power, but he let it go. A lot of people don't have the constitution to do such a thing. It was the example that inspired George Washington when he became the first US president. Washington too, he served 2 terms as president and relinquished power. At the time, the US didn't have term limits for the presidency. So you see the beautiful connection. People no longer read. But for you to be able to see the entire expanse of human experience, not the entire, but a split of it, you should read. You should read why. You should read wholesale. Reason number 2, why you should read. You see other people's pitfalls and learn from their mistakes. There's a book about Charlie Munger, the legendary business man and investor. He was partner to Warren Buffett. He passed away a few years ago. And the title of the book is All I Want to Know is Where I'm Going to Die, So I'll Never Go There. Buffett and Munger, a study in simplicity and uncommon common sense. A long title. Charlie's great idea is that he wants to know psychological pitfalls, character pitfalls that make people fail, even great people. Charlie has read a lot of biographies. One other thing that Charlie does is he wants to know the great ideas in the main disciplines. He learns the great ideas in physics. He knows the great ideas in biology. He knows the great ideas in psychology, chemistry. Then he marries the ideas together to create mental models that guide his life. Even more important than the mental models, he tries to find out why people fail, as I've already mentioned. Why men and even great men fail. And he believes that to be able to win, you have to avoid failure. Because when you avoid failure, you give yourself the runway to win. Charlie believes that there are 3 L's that make men fail: leverage or loans, lust and liquor. One of these days, I will do a deep dive into the 3 L's. I read an autobiography about Samuel Reston, which was great. He was a great man. He shows the methods he used to become wealthy. I started reading another book about him, Unscripted, but it was too gossipy, so I decided to stop reading. It was about the latter part of Samuel Reston's life. It was just women. He was fucking too many women, to put it bluntly. He totally lost control of himself. These bitches were going after his money. They wanted to even disinherit Samuel Reston's own children and have his things for themselves. They were moving for him to change his will. And it was sad that a great man at the end of his life becomes an idiot. So a man that had lived a great life, he was letting lust become a problem in his life. Who else can I talk about? I tend to like to see the great strengths of great men rather than their negatives. I'm really thinking hard. Another example, let's take Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's extreme competitiveness. But then the toxic part of it is gambling. You read Michael Jordan's story, you see how ambitious he is, how hardworking he is, but then you also see the dark side of that competitive drive. Reason number 3, you learn how people win. Same Michael Jordan, you learn exactly how he won. You read about Kobe Bryant, you learn how Kobe Bryant won. The founder of Virgin, what's his name? Richard Branson. You read his books and he lays out exactly how he was able to do what he has been able to achieve. He provides a roadmap. Elon Musk, you read books about him and you will learn how he is winning. And it becomes almost obvious to you. You can put yourself in their shoes and you know that when you follow that same path, there's no way you won't win. There's a book titled 39 Letters of John D. Rockefeller to the Sun. When you read that book, it's a small book. It's a collection of letters that John D. Rockefeller, who at the time was the richest person in the world, wrote to his only son. He gives his son life advice. In those personal letters, he distills all the lessons he has learned in his career. He has given him the blueprint. If you follow that path, how will you not build wealth for yourself? Reason number 4 why you should read books. Books are entertaining and make you knowledgeable. I have not read a book and seen the movie based on the book and the movie was better than the book. From Harry Potter to Game of Thrones, books are simply better. Maybe it's my imagination, because my imagination is always better than what I see on screen. So I prefer information from books and I can build the world with my own imagination. Books are the highest form of entertainment. Those are strong words. Music can really compete. Now I don't know. Aside being entertaining, books have the added advantage of making you know things. If you read a lot of books, you will know things that will literally make you a different person from you were when you didn't read. Reason number 5 why you should read books. It keeps your mind occupied. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. When your mind isn't busy, you start having thoughts you don't have to have, thoughts you don't want to have, because the mind can't be a vacuum. The mind has to always have something that occupies it. So you want to occupy yourself with things that are uplifting. If you read good books, you shape your mindset. If you're occupied, you won't have time for unnecessary chatter, gossiping about people, thinking negative thoughts. Mind you, when I talk about reading books, I'm not talking about any book at all. Not useless romance books, romance novels like 50 Shades of Grey, which is basically porn. No, read great books, the classics, books that are timeless. Maybe I should create a reading list. Let me know in the comment section if you will be interested. Reason number 6 why you should read books. You build a mentorship group. If you don't have people around you that you admire, you can find such people in books. They will give you great advice. You can find great friends in books. I'm not telling you to disregard having friends where you are. I'm only saying that it can happen that where you are, your neighborhood, your society, you're not finding people that think like you or people that you find to be badass. But you can read about the badass people you admire. So, the people you admire don't have to be close to you. They can be far away, but you still be getting their mentorship. And you can find their advice through books, because they will share in their books how they became who they are. The world has become a global village. I don't remember the last time I heard that term, global village. The information you need is only a click away. Reason number 7 why you should read books. Your vocabulary automatically expands. I remember when I was in high school, when I started high school, it was difficult for me to construct sentences. Sometimes I would have to make a conscious effort thinking of which words to stick together to make sense. Words that relate exactly what I want to say. Putting my thoughts together have become a lot easier since I started reading actively. I don't have to look for words to use because the words come into my consciousness when I think of what to say. And I know that is because of the range of books I've read over the years. It's given me a bank of vocabulary I can withdraw from. Reason number 8. I think you should read books. It gives you a long attention span. Most people's attention spans have been demolished because of the algorithm, because of TikTok, because of Facebook Reels, because of YouTube Shorts, because of Instagram Reels. You are just scrolling. If something is more than 2 minutes, it's too long, it's boring, it's no longer entertaining. You don't have that with books. Reading a book requires commitment. Being an active reader requires that you have priorities. Reading a 1,000-page book requires that you think through how you can cover the pages. It requires you to think long term. This long term thinking is transferable to other facets of your life. You begin to believe that you can do things that take a long time. In the end, don't forget about my ask. Should I create a reading list? Let me know in the comment section. Now subscribe to the channel, like this post, and share. Share. Cheers. No,